Hello, hello, hello. This is RocksAlot, and today we are going to brave the weather once. It is a little cloudy, but yeah, we got a few things to do outside. Hopefully, if it doesn't work, we will do a runner inside, and just going to wait for a couple of people to come in. What are we going to be working on today? Well, I better go do the plug-in, shouldn't I? Yeah. Okay. Wait and see if the rain comes.
Yeah, it's just.
Hey.
Can't do anything purple today.
Hmm?
Can't do anything purple today.
No purples. I have purple coming though. Hi, whoever gave me a thumbs up, I appreciate that. Thank you. Sorry, we're just getting started, and I got some hearts too. That's awesome. Welcome in. Let me do my old chat. Sorry, I had to give hugs. I just got home from work. Hi, Marlene. How are you? Estefanos. That's a great name. I'm gonna guess maybe Greek, somewhere in there. I'm not really sure. But that's my guess. Maybe Cyprus, somewhere in the Mediterranean. Welcome in. I don't know if it's Mediterranean weather today, as last week. Looks like it might rain, but well, that's okay. We're going to work on a few different things today, just while we wait for a couple of people to come in. I have a little bit of stabilized Kingman. There's some super blues in it, and I'm going to cut a few pieces just because I want to test it out. But some great blues in there and some great matrix in there. And after that, I chose 4 pieces that we'll cut real quick. Watch it start thundering on me again. Well, it's a wet saw, so I shouldn't be too bad. I'm running around in my jean shorts, flip-flops, and a t-shirt. Just got home from work. This is really neat. This is some Bella Blue. It's gorgeous like that, just like that. So I might just save that piece that way, and we might cut this one in and see how well that does. But I really like the way it's polished up already. So that's great. I wonder if there's a way I can put something over my phone. This one as well. Welcome in, everybody. Thanks for popping in. Happy Thursday. It is cutting day. And as soon as I get this saw out and put my phone outside, it clouds over. So we're going to chance it. And if we have to move inside, we will move inside. Let's put these out for everybody. So yeah, I'd appreciate if you stayed at least a minute. That would be fantastic. So there's some Bella Blue. I believe it's from Mexico. And then we got some stabilized Kingman, which has a lot of potential to it. So it's going to be a tryout on the saw today, and also we'll go inside after I've got a few mini slabs and cut a few pieces on the genie inside there. Welcome in. Happy Thursday. Stay with me a minute. I'd really appreciate it. We're going to get going on this. You might need to turn down your volume a little bit. Yeah, nice blues. Yeah, it is tea time. But I missed tea, I missed breakfast, I missed dinner last night. So, no, I had to do lab work this morning, which we all have to go through. So these were the pieces, and I chose this one. I don't know if you can see, it has a little sparkle in there. And I don't know if that's from somewhere else around the mine, you know, glitter in the bucket. Could be anything. But we're going to slice that one. Going to slice this one, which was slightly different. This is all Kingman. Got that really nice sound to it. This one, let's have a look. Oh, I do have my special t-shirt. What's it say? I'd lick that. Yep. All about crystals. And then this one, look at the color on that. We're actually going to try, and that looks like it's just a little seam by itself on top. So we're just going to try and slice that off. And I think, I'm not sure, I think this one is actually a separate like bar, almost like opal, a separate seam. So somehow I've got to shave this top off with the saw. That should be interesting. And then this one, gonna go right down the middle. Except it has the Indian log sign on it up there. I wonder how that happened. Wow, okay. Well, that's different. 1776, welcome in. Yeah, really nice blues. And we're just it looks a little quartzy up the top. So we're gonna slice that off. Yeah, tea time cutting. Maybe that's what we should call it. Although we say tea time, but then 1776 is in here, so I don't know. Might send out the boats. And this was a different type. This was some of the big nuggets that I got back in July. And this one I'm going to keep for right now the way it is, but there are a couple little nuggets in here and I just want to go through those. So that's like 3 different types. I've got one other thing to do. Oh, I know what it is. The last thing I want to do is I have some of Sam's still, and I know some of you have seen it. We had those chartreuse greens in there. I'm going to zip through these. I want to get back to Sam because I want him to hopefully tell me which ones were the turquoise, which ones were Gaspiite, and there's another type of, I think, a Mexican turquoise. So, and yeah, I'm going to slice through them just so I can take some photos. There is one other piece in here. And hopefully, I don't know if it's too big for my saw, but this is gorgeous. This was from Tim and Dave. I'm hoping I can get at least one slice off of here. But this was the chrysocolla. Really nice chrysocolla. Red web chrysocolla is what they were calling it. So I'm hoping I can get, maybe we just take it off the edge here. I'm hoping to get at least one little slab out, so I know how that works. Hi Eve, welcome in. Thank you for coming in. Love if you could hang out for a few minutes, that'd be great. Or longer. We've had some people hanging out for 2 hours, which is just wonderful. So, that all said, I think we're going to start. But let's do the green so we get the green out of the way. And I'm just going to zip through them. We'll take a quick peek at them. You'll see the differences and you'll know why. I just don't want to be giving out information to people when I'm cutting it that is incorrect. So I think that's pretty nice of me. Okay, here we go. If you have time, go ahead and hit that the likes, and hit a subscribe. That really helps me too. We're up to, I think it's 555 today, which is awesome. This is going to produce some noise, and I'm going to zip through these greens real quick, and then I'll show them. That's how loud it gets, which is pretty loud. Let's move you over just a little bit so I don't get you wet. If you like, we can go in. Let's go in just a tiny bit. So if I cut my fingers off, you'll get to see it. No, that won't happen. Won't happen. Here we go. Oh, here's my moss. So I forget safety, but we do have safety. So I do need a little mask. It's 95. I am cutting stones that have been stabilized. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Alright. Well, looks a little blue above me. I'm putting my poncho on, hopefully so I stay semi-dry. It's not the best poncho in the world. There we go. There we go. Well, this is fun entertainment, isn't it? There we go. If you could see me, he'd be laughing. No, sorry about that. Alright, tuck it in. And I got 4 pieces, which I've already put in my pocket. Alright, there we go. Greens. Here we go. 4 greens. A lot of noise. It'll take me about 3 minutes probably. Sorry, I have one quick thing to do. Just got to make sure my sound's going through. And I might test a microphone later on today, and that should be interesting too. So sorry for fiddling around. There we go. Alright, now we're good. Sorry about that. I'm going to try and get those little lines in there. This one should be green. Take a bit there. Last one. Bugging up. I put the poncho on and the water's going right down my neck. Alright, let's see. So this was the first one. And they're all going to be green. Different types, so that's a little more mossy. Although that eye in there is kind of cool. I mean, it's not a bright color. I mean, not super green or anything, but look at that. It's pretty neat. Look at that eye of Sauron or something in there. Huh. Wasn't expecting that. That's pretty neat. I just have to give that to Sam. Put it in Sam's bag. Evening, everybody. Welcome in. This is the chartreuse kind of. This one's a little bit duller, but still pretty vibrant. We really like this one. So you can tell the difference just in those last two. This one, oh, it's nice. A little bit sort of duller and darker. But it's got some variation in there, which is pretty nice. Pretty cool. And then last but not least, I'm hoping, let's see if I did well. So it looks like it's got 3 lines going this way. So I actually cut across it and see if we can get the 3 lines going through the middle of it. There we go. That is cool. It's almost the, it's not dendritic, but it's sort of got that line to it. Something similar, but isn't green like this, or isn't really green, is the Picasso jasper or Picasso marble. So I actually like this one a lot. That's good. Hi Stephen, welcome in. Thank you once again. What else do I have in here while I take a quick... Yeah, it's really nice. Hey Rocky, I have a question for you, and you don't have to answer it in the chat if you don't want to. You can maybe reach out to me in a different video. I tried messaging out to Miss Sandy, and I haven't heard back, and I was just a little worried about her. And you know, whenever I'm doing this cutting, I do think of her. And I've seen you in the chats and other people's channels, and you know, I come across her boxes and little notes, and I just was wondering how she was doing. But like I said, you could, if you want, you can message me through a comment in a different video. That'd be fine. So I really like this one. Okay. Let's do something there. Well, let's try the Kingman. So I was told this isn't dyed. I'm pretty sure it's not dyed. It is stabilized. There's sort of a few different variations of it in the bag, and these were kind of the 3 or 4, but all from Kingman. There's so much in. All right, great, thank you. So yeah, there's so much that the Kingman mines have. They go from greens to blues to, they have everything. And this is artisan family from what I understand. So we're just going to cut a couple of these. They're hard, but I want to see what they look like inside. So let's give it a try. And I'm going to be a little more careful with these. I say that. I'm going to try the hardest one first. So this is the hardest one. That blue there, I don't know if it's the same here or if that's a separate seam right there. And I think we're going to cut right through here. That's the plan. At least that way I'll have a pretty even sized stone each side. So even if I'm wrong, I can still save something out of it. All right, here comes the noise again. Welcome in, everybody. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for sticking around. Here we go. the time on it. Hi everybody, welcome in. Happy Thursday. I've got rain on one side and beautiful sun on the other. Let me close in a little bit here. So this is stabilized Kingman, and just testing a few pieces. I have not cut this yet, so let's have a look. Wow. Look at that. A little dirty on the outside, but look at that inside. That's fantastic. Hi, Mustafa. Well, I haven't started selling them. This is just the rough stage. I bought them in a sale that was online, and it was just after the Denver show, the Denver Gem Show, so these people were trying to get rid of some of their inventory that they had left. So I have some of it, I don't have a lot of it, and it's in my interest, I think, to actually cab this out and then sell it, which we will do. I don't know whether it'll be a carat or per gram. I can tell you I paid per gram for this. Anyway, very happy with that. All right. Let's do the quartzy one. I'm going to chop the top off. Right through the middle right there, so I take that quartz part off. I think I might end up with sort of some nice ribbon on the top in that quartz, and I have no idea what that bottom piece is going to look like. And well, only one way to find out here, isn't it? All right, let's try this piece. Noise. Oh, my back's in it.
I saw your back.
Oh, sorry, people. I do have a good looking back. Let's see how we did. Getting comments from the gallery. So the top piece, well, okay, that's much nicer than I thought. Look at that. I thought it was going to be much duller and more quartzy. And that bottom part is gorgeous. Look at that. Oh, that's stunning. So just to double check later on, I'm going to swab this with some denatured alcohol and rub it with a cloth or a piece of cotton. But I know this isn't dyed. It's just Kingman, and it's stabilized, and it's gorgeous. Look at that. Okay. KG, the reason I do the swabbing is just to check to see if it's dyed. But all the colors are slightly different, so I'm about 99% sure it's not dyed. Plus, because of the people who told me. Okay, we can cut this off the top off this one. Hoping for a little more black matrix in the middle of this one. So let's give it a try. haven't seen this yet. I have a guess, but yeah, I was right. That's lovely. And that's going to cab out. So I've left it, about 5 millimeters, maybe 6 in places, so that when I cab it out, it'll stay at 4 to 5 with my girdle and get a decent dome on it. I don't need to back this with anything because it's been stabilized well, which you can hear. Welcome in, everybody. So glad you're here. It is tea time with Sir RocksAlot, and we cut some turquoise in that garden. And yeah, so this one was the one, if you were here earlier, if you don't mind, if you could hit that like button, that'd be fantastic, and subscribe if you would. I just hit, I think, 555 this morning, which is wonderful, and I love all you people coming back. So somewhere in here, there it is. Now, I don't know if that's going to mean I'm going to get some pyrite all the way through, but I'm hoping. And then the other day, who was it? Wendy from Wolf Walker Collectibles. She actually had a really nice piece from Kingman that it may be iron pyrite, but I did a little research, and sometimes Kingman, very rarely, but it does happen, does get some silver in it, and not just pyrite, which makes sense, so blue makes it copper, the copper makes it blue. So a lot of these mines actually were mined for copper first, and most of the silver in the world comes from, actually mostly from copper mines, but other metals and base metal mines. So it's not unheard of to find little pieces of silver, not just the iron pyrite in there too. So let's give this a little try here. This one was much harder. I don't know if it's because the pyrite's in there. Hi everybody, welcome in. It's RocksAlot. Hit the subscribe, say hello in the chat. Maybe hit the like, be great. Look at the blue on that. Alright, let's see what's inside. Oh, that's smoky. Look at that. Oh, I love that. That might be my favorite. I'm not sure. Wow, look at that. That's gorgeous. I love the dark, smoky blues that Kingman can have sometimes, and it's almost like the old dark Morenci, or Nakazari even. But that's a beautiful, gorgeous blue. Now I don't know. How do they relax with tea? They take a cube or two. I don't know. Hey, gorgeous. So I have a little bag of that to go through, which we will do another time. I'm really just doing some exploratory cuts today, and we might head inside and get this little show here. So just out of those 4 pieces, you look at that. That's fantastic. Very, very happy. So, yeah, I probably think I made my money back just on like these 8 stones once I get them polished up, but we'll see. Awesome. Put that back in with the blues, and then I got a couple. So I don't think this is the right saw for this piece, and I like it. It's just a chunk. Isn't that gorgeous? So kind of like that one, but there's a couple more chunks in here that we can try on the saw. This is Bella Turquoise is what we called it, and I'm gonna get around that corner. Yep, we're gonna try it. I'm gonna try and get through this and slice probably right about there. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to bring out at least my 6-inch saw on this one. Unfortunately, the blade will be a bit thicker and I'll lose a bit more, but it'll be safer. So, all right, let's try this one. See how stable it is, and then we'll hit this one and see how that does. I don't know how that's going to do. Am I going to get through this, or am I going to lose this outside skin? We'll see. Here we go. Weather's got better. That's good. All right, I got a little brave on that last one. Yeah, it's a little scary sometimes too. All right, because the height of that blade is only what, 1.5 inches, and my stone's 2 inches, 2.5 inches high. So you have to roll it around without that. It's a pretty flexible blade without it changing its spot in the stone. Otherwise, you just end up with 3-4 cuts. Welcome in, everybody. Thanks for coming in. Hope you had a great day today, and we're just cutting some turquoise. We did some Kingman, which turned out fantastic. We did some of Sam's green, which we're going to do some tests on. All right, so let's have a look. That's really pretty. Really pretty. Welcome in, everybody.
The relaxing rocking chairs.
Did you put that in the chat?
You liked it.
That's funny. Miss KG, you are funny. How do rock hounds relax with tea in their rocking chairs? It's a mum joke. All right, that was really nice. This one, I don't know why I did, but I went a little nuts because this was actually where that face was. And hi Scott, welcome in. Yeah, it's really nice. This is from one of Dave's sales, but it was actually Tim's sale. So, doink, look at that. Pretty, pretty, pretty. So, if that matrix is hard enough, which it should be, because the whole stone's been stabilized, I should be able to put a triangle in there. Gotta watch my back, but should be able to get some sort of picture stone out of that. Almost like a Awahi jasper, but turquoise. That's neat. I love that wispy that one came up here. Looks like the wind. Or an old tree. Really old tree. Very cool. Alright. So that's those two. Let's try this one. And then we'll look at that chrysocolla, the red web chrysocolla. But I don't think this saw is big enough. We'll see. So I'll show all these in a minute. Then we actually might nip inside and cut a few. So this is one I got back in June, July, something like that. And they did start to polish that. I'm going to keep that one because this saw is too small. But there are a few little chunkers in here. And this one almost looks like Mila, but it can't be. Well, it could be actually, but so there's a tiny window right there. I think we're just gonna chop these right in the middle. So, a little bit more noise. How was everybody's day? I started off hangry because I had to do lab work this morning. You know, we all have to do it once a year. And so I hadn't eaten since yesterday. And then, yeah, work was work. I think we got a flat tire that we got to fix tomorrow. But all in all, we got through the week, and I'm glad you're all here, because this is what I enjoy doing when I get out. It's great for my mental health. So let's cut through these. We got 91 in chat, 19 likes, so that's pretty cool. All right, here we go. To add a little bit more water. Not dry yet, but getting down there. So, having a safety first day. Okay. There we go. All right, here we go. was the first one. What I am noticing over time, you can not necessarily tell where the turquoise is from the smell, but you can tell where it's been stabilized. I know that sounds odd. Ooh, that's just straight up. Wow, okay. Well, this is not the blue like the corn blue that they look for, but that's pretty pure right there. Some people like that. I like a little bit of matrix. I think these other two are going to be similar. There we go. Yeah. Nice colors. There's not a lot of contrast in there. I want to see where the stabilization went in. Different. And I think this is going to be the same. So, not terrible. Not my favorite. That one's a little bit better. Oh, flying solstice. Sorry. Almost. It's very, very light, and the camera changes it a little bit. That's not bad actually. It's not sunny out, so it hasn't changed the color too much in the screen. Alright, let me see what else we can do. What's funny is this is completely different from the big chunker that was in the bag, and I like this one. It's got that like gold matrix to it. Do we or don't we? I'd like to cut a piece of this, but I don't know if this saw is big enough. This is what they're calling the red web turquoise. I mean chrysocolla. Maybe I can get one off of there. I don't know. Let me see. Well, maybe I can. What do you think? Should try it? I mean, if it doesn't work, then I just take it off and have to do it another time. Yeah, we're going to try it. And it'll be the last cut, and then I'm probably going to go inside here and see if we can tab some of this up. So this may or may not work. I really don't know. It's going to be really close. Maybe. I don't know if it's going to help that way. Sorry, I'm thinking out loudish. It's going to be much harder. Let me see if I can do it. We'll try it. Blade moved, well, it's not too bad. I was getting water in my eye, and this water is not the best water to stick in your eye. Give me 1 second. Oh. Sorry, I just doused my eyes out. So yeah, I have safety glasses on, and still I got water in my eye, which isn't good. And it's not bad to get dirty water in your eye, but when it's got epoxy in it, you got to be careful. All right, try this one last time. See if I can get that same line. It'll be difficult. I don't know if I like it. I don't know if I like it. Let's try it. I'm missing it. It's not going where I want it to go. Try one more time. If not, I'm going to quit. It wasn't a rock, it was a little piece of rock that hit the side, but it is not the right. See what happened here? Pop, right out. Pow. So we're going to stop that. We're going to do it on the saw. Yeah, there's too many lines in there to cut, so. Alright, lesson learned. And I still have my fingers. So, good with that. I think we'll do one more piece of Kingman maybe. And then I'll go inside and see what we got. Ooh. And one more piece of Kingman that has thickness to it. That's not bad. Most of this is one of the earlier pieces. Really nice. Oh, actually pretty good on size. So I think we're just going to cut this one and we're going to head inside. And I'll pick out the pieces we cut. Here we go. Not as nice as the others. Some heavy matrix in it. Hi everybody, welcome in. Almost looks like little worms. Neat. So let's have a look at the Kingman real quick, and then we're going to head in. And I'm going to take some of these Kingman pieces and we'll cut some of them. That's my favorite. That's pretty nice. Alright, I think that's good, but that pretty much shows what we did earlier. This is my favorite right here. This one, dark, smoky one. A little bit of light blue and matrix. This is the one we just did. This one was super. Alright. I'm gonna get this poncho up. We're gonna head inside here. Take a little walk inside. Thank you all for being here. So that piece was a little nerve-wracking, to tell you the truth. Take those inside. Unplug tile saw. Okay. Sorry for the move, but we're not too far away from it. Got that. Keep the bags. I'm gonna go inside here. Alright, let's go inside. Kind of inside. Hold on, we're going to take a little walk. Thank you for sticking around too, I really appreciate it. Just 1 second. Oop. Can peek through my fingers. There we go. Get into the shop here. I'll take you off of this. Stink. Get in my chair. There we go. All right, 1 more second here. Get that in the clamp. Looking pretty good. There we go. So, back out a little bit. There you go. All right. Well, hi everybody. Thank you all for coming in. Hi Captiva. Hi Captiva. It is Genie time. And yeah, so I kind of knew I shouldn't cut that last rock. It was not that it was too hard, but the height of it was a little much for that blade to take, and it jumped. And when it jumped, it's a little scary. We are. Thank you. I was going through everybody that has subscribed in the last 6-7 months, and I really appreciate it. Just spending time with me, I think that's just amazing. I'd be cutting their stones anyway, and being able to share them and learn. I'm learning myself as we go along. I've been doing this about 4 years now, and noticed that I had a semi-talent, I'm going to call it, although KG will tell me different, but I have a semi-talent of being able to eye certain shapes, even ovals and circles and emerald cuts. And I don't know if it's the math side of my head that works, because my English and everything isn't all that fantastic. But my math and sciences was great growing up. And I think there's a part of doing lapidary that needs and nurtures off of that side of my brain. And but I appreciate you all being here, I really do. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, Rocky, this machine, and in fact, not only was I thinking about Sandy, I was also thinking about the gentleman that I got these machines off of. And that's, it's 4 years ago. And we went down to meet him at his house. I'd purchased a bunch of opal off of him. over a period of time, and he was nice enough to sell me his genie, but he wanted us to actually come down and meet him and his wife. And we did that. I was very honored. One, he loved my wife's green eyes and red hair. I mean, well, I don't know what that's about, but so he was giving her stones and stuff, jade and chrysoprase and all kinds of stuff. And but we were fortunate enough to see some of the Colonel's work in the opal side of things. So Pulitzer's work, and he had a couple pieces that had come from the Colonel here, gone back to Australia, and then come back to him here in the United States. So I actually got to see some of those Colonel stones in person, which was just, I never thought I'd come across something like that. I see them on YouTube, and I see them on the TV, and but he was very kind, and I'm going to reach out to him again. I don't think he's really seen the work that I've been doing the last couple of years and putting it out on YouTube, and yeah. So who knew I would get sentimental over machines and rocks? But we do. Okay, enough of that. I think I'm going to swing you around the machine. I need to get a little bit of water. Appreciate you all coming in. This is how I like to finish up my week, my work week. So here we go, one quick swing over here. Let me, it should be fine. Undo that, just, yeah, we're going to undo it right there. Doop. Come on, no. Oh, shit. It's not playing fair. It's a little bit better. Okay, what is going on? Undo that. Yeah, that's a bit better. Sorry about that. I know we have all these contraptions, and you have to undo a piece here and get a piece together there. Anyway, so let's see. I think do we just go straight for the really nice stuff? Why not? I think we do. So I'm going to take. So we're going to lose some of this stone, just because of the thickness there. So I might actually back that one just to heighten it a little. And this one we're going to go ahead and do right away. So Kingman stabilized. Oh, we were going to do a test too. Doop-a-doop. Let's see what we'll use. So all I'm going to do, you can do it with a Q-tip or anything like that. I'm going to take some denatured alcohol. I'm praying that there's no color going to come off on my towel. So literally going to put some denatured alcohol onto a towel. So you can do this at home too. If you already have a cab, do it to the back of your cab. And I think, oh shoot, why not? I'm just going to do it, because if it's wrong, then it's wrong. So I am pressing pretty hard, and there's no dye coming off. You see me rubbing pretty good. So I knew that would be the truth anyway, and because I know where I'm getting this from, and I trust them 100%, 120%. So, wow. You know what that did? I don't know what that just did, but I don't know if we can see that. Can you see that? Look at that. So it actually pulled some of the pyrite out. Oh, that's neat. So the reason this is black, I guess, is because it's some sort of iron pyrite matrix. Yeah, that's really good. I don't think it was the Ithaca Peak. No, this is Kingman. This came. I don't know if you were watching, Rocky. It was the first Tim sale. I think it came from. Actually, I got a bit from both, but it was the Tim sale, and he sold twice just towards the end of Denver from the gem show, and was selling. It was selling out in the hotel room. But yeah, hematite. Thank you. Sorry, it's the end of the week. But that looks like that's going to polish up really nice. So let's give that a go. A little bit of noise, not as bad as the saw. And here we go. If you have any questions, please put them in the chat. Oh, that sounds sketchy. Gatorade. That's my deep, sexy, scratchy voice. Okay, sorry. Here we go. I'm going to start in the middle, see if we need to move over to the 80 or not. It even sounds metallic, so... Oh, shoot. Dang it. I don't have the best nails in the world anyway, but I'm going to put some gloves on for this. I got a woo-hoo from the garden somehow. So, yeah, I was looking at the subs today, and there's quite a few familiar names in there, but there's a lot of not so familiar names, and I really want to thank those people that have subbed in. Slowly working on my hours as far as YouTube. Like, I'm not in this to make any money off of YouTube. It just gives me a little goal. If I ever got monetized, would be I want like one check that says 33 cents on it, and I'd be happy. So let's give this a try. So this wheel's, woo! I got a thing outside. You can smell people's different stabilizations. Now some of it stays here in the United States and gets stabilized here. Some of it goes south to Mexico. I don't think the artisans do their own. I don't know what the formula is or necessarily the process. I assume because they're so big that they might even have different processes for different types of stones, for different grades of turquoise. Alright, see how I'm saving my hands? But what it does do is a much nicer reveal. Let's do this. We can move over just a tiny bit. Back the other way. Oh, sorry. There we go. That'll work. I'm going to do this a little bit quicker. So this stuff, once you get it in your nails, it'll be a week. Your clothes, it might never come out. Woo! Smell that. Make sure I got my mask on this. A lot of safety today. So just going around the edge, sort of forming a semi-girdle, bringing in the sides so I can get to the point where I actually dome it. And I'll show it as we're going along from wheel to wheel, rather than waiting for the last wheel to show you. Rather keep you here. Do that bottom a little bit. And I'll probably just do the first 3 wheels. Welcome in, everybody. I really appreciate you being here. If you haven't been here before, go ahead, hit that like, just double tap the screen, I think, and maybe hit that subscribe. I try to go live once a week. I actually went live on Sunday. Yeah, went live on Sunday because last week's live I ended up deleting it by mistake. Yeah, it happened. I'm going to bring this one in just a little bit more here. But yeah, I go live once a week, end of my work week, and I was hoping to get a free weekend. I'm going to get a free weekend, but I was hoping the last few weeks I've also been doing really small jewelers commissions, which is a complete honor and compliment, even though they don't get paid enough for it. But so in 4 years, see, aren't mine pretty? Love my color. But yeah, it's getting there. It's actually sinking to the bottom of this water. This boulder opal will stain you for like half a year. And even like Persian or Iranian turquoise with some heavy pyrites in it will just turns black. Alright, I think I'm okay there. I'm just doing a slight angle. I like to go below the middle because of the curvature of the wheel. It gives me a slight angle. Some people like to do it upside down, but above the sort of center point of that wheel. And you can get your angle there, like a 7 or 11 degree. And then actually, and I have one somewhere, I need to use it. Diamond Pacific also have a cab rest. You can actually rest your cab on top and you just move your stone around. It stops you from going up and down like I am. Alright, let's see. I think I'm ready to start taking the top down. And so this is my lowest point. I'm going to try and dome it there first, all the way around the stone to about 4 millimeters, 5 millimeters. And if I have to bring it in, I will. But I want to get that same height all the way around while I'm doming it. So the dome, I've started off about 60, I guess that is, 60 degrees on that top. If it's a higher dome, I'll start off at 45 and then come down. Sorry, it probably was more like a 30 than a 60. So this looks very similar to, I'm hoping it's going to come out similar to the Nakazari that I got from Dave. I have a few pieces of his. Doming it to the middle. Basic. Which I like, it's got that clayey look to it, not the black look. So there maybe is a little bit of matrix in here too. Bit of a wiggle waggle. Quick look, what do you think? Here's a quick look. I think once we take a look here, we'll kind of know where we're going. I can get it to focus. Come on. I can't take my gloves off. But, it's looking pretty good. Sorry. I need to get down these crevices down, and it'll be looking really nice. So I do see like that little quartz right there. Sorry it's not showing well. It's hard for me, well, it's hard enough to do the phone with my wet hands, but then to do it with wet gloves is almost impossible. But we'll get to it. So I want to get those two crevices out. They seem to be holding, I think probably some surrounding clay that was up in the mountain. And it doesn't actually, it's not actually part of the stone. I think it's just been picked up along its journey. And I'm actually pressing really hard. So I don't need the back piece. Getting that down to 4 millimeters. So it's showing some quartz that I did not see. It's nice though, very dark, smoky blue. Get in there. So still got this little divot here. That's started to come down. A little bit of a bug in the middle. So it's looking good. Wondering if that quartz will actually come out. I don't mind if it does. Gives a little bit of extra character. Uh-oh. Got a Halloween face in it. Pretty neat. I don't know if that'll stay, but nothing wrong with a little face in your stone. Move over to the Nova wheel. Right now I'm just pre-shaping. Actually you can see some of the shine right there from the pyrite or the hematite. Move over a little bit. Welcome in everybody. This is a piece of treated or stabilized Kingman. It's not been dyed. We did a little test on it just to make sure, but it's not dyed. It's just naturally this color, and then it's been stabilized just to give it some bit of a longer life on its journey. Welcome back, Steve. Where'd you pop out to? You go down to get a few beers, pick up the kids, get dinner. You're welcome, Scott. Please. I'm honored to have you guys here, really. It's taken a little bit of getting used to. The only thing, there's things like, so I have a camera right here, and I'm trying to work from behind the camera and see my stone, so I'm actually a little offset to the right, and I am looking through the light and the camera. So this new little tripod thing that I've got is a lot better than what I was working with, because I don't actually have the tripod part. It's now clamped on a desk to my left using one of, and I'm not endorsing it, but I think it's called the small rig. Well, and by the way, every Thursday afternoon or evening The fire engines like to go by. I don't know if they do it just to get the engine out. Probably not, and I hope wherever they're going, the people are safe. So. Okay. I'm going to leave that quartz in there. It's got this face to it. It's really weird. I'm trying to think of the face. It's not like a Mayan warlord or anything. A little more spacey and alien-like than that. A little bit of wiggle waggle. I like to do it both sides. Maybe we'll, what are we at? 1:17, so been on in almost an hour and 20. I think what we'll do is we'll do 2 other pieces. Not of the Kingman. Excuse me. Really? Scam in the middle. So I don't get trolls, it's just true or something. Hey Josh, welcome in. Wow. So you can't really see it on the top. It's there, but if you look on this edge, you can see that metallic. It's really nice. And we got a Halloween face going on. It's actually, it's fairly happy. So yeah, we're going to do a few more pieces and get them shaped up. And we might actually go under the next 3 wheels, and we'll see if we have enough time to get all the way to polish on a couple of them. I'm really starting to like this. So, let's do a quick dry check. A quick dry check. I'm not really missing anything. Even that quartz is polishing. So we're, I've got 3 more wheels to go. I don't see any big scratches. Girdle that's pretty even all the way around. Probably come down a little bit here. And I'm going to bring this back in because it's got a saw cut right in the middle. So let's do the back. Get that saw cut out. Smells like turpentine almost. This one. Alright, it's almost gone. I like to do the back so I never know if it'll get set with an open back or if it'll get wire wrapped. And I don't like big saw marks on the back. Almost gone, just a little divot in there, you see that? Try that on here. Welcome in everybody. Really appreciate you. Wow, okay. That got hot. Where'd it go? Ran away. Where did it run to? Oh, there you are. Did not like that. I don't want it to get hot. My geysers right there. So if you don't know Diamond Pacific, they do Pixies, Genies, and Titans. And you got Cat King too. This just happened to be the available one to me at the time for the price that I got it for. And I've had it 4 years. The gentleman had it prior to me over 20. Okay, so that little saw mark's gone. Let me just check my girdle height around. A little bit more here. And I have had to do a little maintenance on it. As far as the pump, it can be a little awkward, but once you've done it a few times, it's pretty easy. And you start to understand your machine, and you start to understand what the problem is.
Is that metal conduction?
Yeah, I know.
What grits and polishes?
The far over to the left is 80 grit, 240, and then 280. 280, this is a soft wheel, so you can push a little bit and it helps with the dome. The other two are basically, they're not sintered, so they're basically plated in diamond bits of varying sizes onto the top of the metal. And then to my right, I have 3 more wheels, which will move over to, I got a 600, a 1200, and a 3000. Let's try the worm. I don't know which one to do here. This one's kind of small, but let's try this one. Shouldn't take long. More ribbony. This was the piece that we cut off that I knew was quartzy, so it shouldn't take me too long. Yeah, this one's really nice. It's like an Akasari almost. And now I see, how did I miss that? Wow. Totally missed that. Wow. Sorry. I guess I could leave it, but... Okay. Like 2 little giant bugs I completely missed out. And now I gotta go. That doesn't happen often. So the one I'm on right here, to my right, is sort of padded. And then it has the grit embedded in the material on the outside of it. Well, I'm glad I bought that there rather than later. Okay. I still got my face. Hello. Sorry. Alright. I'm going to do this little one. This is a metal wheel impregnated with diamonds. I'm not sure I know what that is, Scott. Is that a make? Or is that a wheel? Or is that a whole machine? Okay. And do you have a little trim saw on the end? That's a new one to me. I don't know if I've heard that. Three hard wheels. What are the grits on the hard wheels? And are you cutting things more like agates, or are you doing phosphates and things like I am? I do. And that's why I guess I didn't quite do it on that third wheel, and I got even the second wheel. I guess I was talking too much. But yes, I dry them off all the time, Rocky, because I don't like getting to that 600 grit or the 1200 grit and then having to go all the way back. So I don't know how I missed that. And I even looked at it in the phone, which magnifies it. I don't know what shape this is going to be. Taking it down, we'll see what comes out. think I can take these gloves off. Round this top up a little. Yeah, I've done some on this machine, and I even have an 80 grit or 60 grit that has that hex on it that I haven't put on here yet. And I also have 2 sintered wheels that I could put on here, but they're so heavy. I just haven't needed to do it yet. But yeah, I've done some Jaspers on here. Morning, Joyce. Morning. How you doing? You get your coffee? Or actually, if it's morning, are you ever in Australia? Or are you just a late night keeper like I am, or used to be? I used to work graveyard shift when I put myself through college. Yep, put my kids through college and I'm still cutting rocks. India, welcome in. A little bit of history over there in Bangalore. Thank you, Scott. Really appreciate it. And we will see you probably. Are you going to be up for Robert's show tonight? You're going to be sound asleep. Thank you. Welcome to the rock show. Sometimes the horror rock show, but yeah. Alright, well, made a basic. Doesn't look too bad. Welcome in, everybody. That oval guy, how you doing today? And so you got some little slabs in. I think they probably, I don't know if they came from this sale or not. I don't think they did, actually. But, yeah, it looks like you might have to go. I was on the tile saw earlier, and I know it does a decent job on these. It would be fine for opal with a really thin blade. But even those slabs, I think you could do on a 4.5 inch. I think, what is it? Harbor Freight is like $39 or something like that. You just got to be mighty wary of what you're doing. Okay, we're going to try and take this top down some. See what we end up with. This was really a cutoff piece that I didn't think we were going to get anything out of, so anything we get out of this, I'll be very happy. Come on. A little bit to bring down there. Move over to the 80 grit real quick. It'll just be quicker. Not that it'll cut you or anything, but this 80 grit, if you leave your nails on that wheel for too long, it will grind them down. You'll know it before you need to, though. There you go. It just made that process a lot quicker. Go over to the next one. Welcome in, everybody. Grew up in England, Joy. And a few other countries in Europe. I have family all over Europe. And the States, too. And my great-grandmother used to pick tea and tobacco in India. Maybe, shoot, it's probably 100 years ago now. Ah, we're up to 50 likes. Look at that. You travel outside of India, Joy? Is it Joy or Joey? Actually. Oh, it's starting to come out. I can see the shape better. I'm going to move over to the soft wheel real quick. Get about. Come on. I was playing games today. There we go. Back looks beautiful. Yeah, this was kind of the top cut, and I didn't know if I'd get anything out of this. It looks like we're going to get something. Might be so small I need to stop it. I think I'm going to end up stopping this one. If you don't know what dopping is, I will end up putting it on a small stick like this. It's just basically a wax, and just makes it easier to maneuver around these wheels. So I'm probably not going to do that today, but that's coming out much nicer than I thought, especially for an end cut. Alright, now there's a piece I've been trying to get to. So this one right here. And we're going to do this one, then move over to the other three wheels, and then maybe we'll finish up with the ZAM, and that'll be it for today. So it's going to probably be about 30 minutes more. So this was a really, really thin piece of theme. I did back it already with some JB Weld. I don't think it really needed it as far as stability. I just did it to give it a little extra height. And if I did it correctly, we will see in a minute. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you all for being here. And now you can start to see that color starting to come out. I don't know how much of this is going to be left. It's going to end up being a pretty small stone. Thin stone, I don't mean small. And shoot. I don't know, what do you think? That's a definite maybe right there. So let me get the bulk of this off. Oh, sorry. Just gonna take this in. I didn't think I was gonna do a heart, but we'll see. poundy hot. What do you think? Do we, hi Dennis, how you doing? I know, but do I make it a hot? I'll end up losing some of that. That's pretty hard right there. I don't know. It's pretty big to do a hard on this machine. I can kind of get it in there. Ooh, that's tight. That is tight. Hi, Marion. We're doing pretty good. No, don't do the heart. Have to take that off. That'll be really hard. Not impossible, but let's see if I can get a V in it without ruining it. Give me like a round. So you can hear me humming as well. Alright, let me see if I can get this other side. So I have to do it upside down. So I'm working on the corner. And the corners to try and get down in this V. And I'm still going to end up losing that. So I'm not sure I'm going to do it, but we're going to try it. And I can't really do it on this other side because if I get it caught on that outside wheel, it'll tear it up. So I'm going to try this upside down in here. Thanks, Steven. Sorry, I gotta concentrate on this one if I'm gonna do it. Ugh. Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be more like a kidney, I think. Yeah, that's not gonna work out. I've done some beautiful hearts, but this is... I could still do it. But it's got some beautiful blues in it. So before I decide to turn it into a heart, I'm gonna take off the top here so I know what's underneath it. Welcome in, everybody. Because we might end up actually doing two stones. Look at that color. Isn't that a great color? Smidgy smudge. But if I remember what I think's underneath here, I think we'll all be pleasantly surprised. Wow, okay. I've been waiting, I don't know, 3 weeks to do this one. I keep forgetting about it. This wasn't one of the ones that we cut today. Alright, doing the same, even though it may end up being a heart, I can still stone that top off a little bit. I did see a gentleman yesterday cutting. He's a native lapidurist and jeweler. And he actually used his Dremel to cut that corner. I've only used it on the corner of the wheel. Isn't that pretty? Lovely. You could use that on your face. Let it dry up. Okay, you're gonna see. You'll see why I'm calling any second now. Whether I'm calling of doing a heart here, and I'm gonna stop chatting about it actually until I decide. Oh goodness. A little bit more. I don't know if you can see that blue starting to pop out. There's a little bit more. Come on. Okay. Do real quick over here. Sorry for the angle. There you go. And I'll show you. Turn around a little bit. This is a pretty new wheel. 280 grit. Sorry, yeah, 280 grit. But even though I've worn it in probably 6 months, it's still pretty solid and takes material off pretty quick. Alright, this one's, I love this fella. Alright, ready? Here we go. Look at that. So, still got to come in there. I don't think this is going to end up as a heart. I don't want to lose too much. We'll see. So it's taken me a month to cut the top of this off, and I might just take it to this wheel, and I'm gonna have to sit on this one before I decide what I'm gonna do with it. I want to maximize the possibilities here. That's what I want to do. But wow, and there's like this. It's almost like this perfect oval calling out to me right here. But I'd still end up losing that or doing another stone there. So I'm going to leave that like that. It's gorgeous. Yeah, I'm going to leave that. Why don't we... Let's see if I can get something out of this one. Even that one's got to be cut. Nope. Guess we could try that one. We're going to get a couple on the next wheel, but some of these I got to do in a couple of stages. Welcome in, everybody. It's RocksAlot. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead, hit that button. I'm very proud to get over 500 a couple of weeks ago. I work on turquoise, opal, jasper, agate, petrified wood. I guess I should do some petrified wood for Halloween, maybe. These are just ones we cut outside this afternoon. Glad you all come in. You could double tap for me, that would be awesome too. But usually go live once a week. Thursday afternoon, Thursday evening. And then, I don't know, if it's raining out, I might go live on the weekend. I have some other stuff to show you guys too. I don't just do lapidary. I've been a collector for many, many years of antiques and collectibles and things. I have a lot of old books that I sell on eBay. There's architecture books from early 20s and 30s, United States stuff. And I sold medical books and old weeklies from the early 1800s. One of my favorite things is Scientific American, and I'm fortunate to have some from sort of the late 1800s into the early. Well, actually, I have them all the way into the 50s, 1950s, but the ones that came out in the early 1900s, from about 1904 or 5 through to about 1930, were the first sort of chromolithograph ones, and they were weeklies back then, and not only did they give you insights into science, but they showed you all the old cars, and the ones from 1914 to 1918 are all war related. So some of the covers in these sort of chromolithograph covers that are, I think they're 12 by 18 or 12 by 20 inches, have like biplanes in the sky, and then boats on the ocean surface, and then the first submarines, one-man submarines down the bottom, and a guy in his big diving suit, brass diving suit, and just really neat stuff. And being a Scientific American, it's all about inventions and things like that. So they would put the new inventions out each week in the back of the magazine, and those are really funny. I think one of the funniest ones is there's a lady in her long dress and puffed up blouse and a hat, and she's carrying a little purse in her hand, and that the purse has a little button on it that she can press, and when she presses that button, out the bottom of the purse comes a spring, almost like a slinky, and it has a shoe brush on the end, so that she doesn't have to bend down to clean stuff off her shoes. She can press a button on her purse and brush her shoes from standing up. All right. Yeah, and I don't know, I started antiquing when I was like 8, maybe even less, with my dad. I have a few brothers, but mostly me and my dad would go out antiquing. Yeah, I'll have to bring out just to show some of those inventions, because they're really funny. And I got like, they've got ads in them as well. I've got one that is, it's not Camel, but it's a Turkish cigarette. I think it's Winston actually, but it's from the 1920s, and it has Santa sitting up on the roof, leaning against the chimney, smoking a cigarette. Oh, I don't know what they do with Santa today. All right, this is looking nice. Look at that. I just need to get the edge down a little. Okay, that turned out much nicer than I thought. Sorry for me babbling. I do hit a lot of estate sales. I don't pick up as much as I used to. Trying to get a little dome. This is a little flat. I like the way that So slightly variations in the blue. Some of it a little smokier than others, but even in the matrix has a variation to its color as well. And they sort of contrast and offset each other really well. Foam on this isn't fantastic, but that's a nice looking stone. I like that. Yeah, it's lighter, darker, lighter on the outside. That's really neat. Alright, let me put a little tiny little bevel around the bottom just so it doesn't chip out. Welcome in, everybody, to RocksAlot, the channel. I'd appreciate if you just spend a minute with us. That'd be great. And if you like what you're seeing, stay in longer. Working on my hours kind of thing. Just going around the edge there. Just that like that. I think my mod's coming to get me. Would have been 2 hours. I don't think we really need to do them all the way to the finish to get an idea of what we got there. So I think, well, let's take this one, see if we can finish that one up. So I'm going to move you. I hope I don't lose you. Excuse my hand, but I gotta get this off sometime without losing it. There we go. 3. That wasn't so bad. You're on your second cup of tea? I know, and I gotta eat too. I haven't eaten. I've eaten some, but we'll just pull through on this one. There's the light. Alright. Let's see if we can finish this one up. Get my geyser going. Did I lose everybody? Maybe. I think the machine's telling me that I've been on too long. Yeah. And if you were here earlier, did you see the mistake I just made? I just didn't put the gloves on. So, that's all. Oops. Round it all the way around, coming from the middle, and do the wiggle waggle. Welcome in, everybody. I hope you had a great day. We past tea time, I guess. It's starting to get dark out. Starting to come out really nice. Still got my face in there. And we're leaving the piece of quartz in there too. Just to show it's real. It's a really pretty piece actually. Now I know Rocky's watching me. I gotta do my dry test once I get off this wheel. Get a little more water. A little blurry. See if we can get this focused again. Oh, sorry. Bit better. Yeah, and gloves. Need to polish the shine over here. It's metallic over there, where that light is. In fact, if you look at the light changes where it's metallic, so it's really metallic on this side, a little less in that dark area, and then a little more on that side over here. That's pretty cool. So this is the 600 Grit Nova, pretty worn, so it's not taking off too much. It's probably more like a 800 than a 600, which is fine because getting those last little lines out. Here's the dry test. What do you think, Rocky? Am I good to go? A little bit there. I don't feel any facets. Maybe a little bit there. Appreciate you all coming in. Stay for a minute, stay for an hour. That'd be great. Working on a Diamond Pacific Genie. Got some really nice dark Kingman Turquoise here. Got a little nugget of quartz in it, but the blues and the, not sure if it's I guess it's a hematite in here that's shining up, polishing, lovely. Now we're just trying to finish off the top. And I think rather than moving everybody over, I will zam it real quick myself, and it'll stop having to go over to the other wheel. Move everything over. Oh my goodness, this is lovely. This has such a great polish coming out on it. I'm only on the 1200. I don't know if you can see the flashes that I'm seeing. So I got 66 and 44. That's what, 130? No, 100, 110. Right. So, yep, so RocksAlot is my channel. Come on here once a week to do live. Even the back's coming up lovely. This is really nice material. I wish I had more of it. I think there's another piece in there, but trying to think of what this shine reminds me of. It's like a silver. It's shimmery. It's really nice. I have to get all the little scratches off so that when I put this on a zam, the zam doesn't get stuck in there. Welcome in, everybody. Wow, the shimmer on this is amazing. Let me move you over a little bit. Dude, it doesn't help. Look at that. Maybe you'll get a shimmer off of it as I'm going along here, because what I'm seeing is really, really nice. I'm not going to put the spectacular on it yet, but so now I'm on the final wheel. This is the 3000. Doing the same thing, hitting that girdle. If I were to set this, I would absolutely set this open back, because the back is as nice as this top is. And I think we're almost at the longest live I've ever done. I know some of you do. Like, I love the jewelry community and the resellers. They are all lovely, kind, and fantastic. And they go on for 5-6 hours at a time. If I thought you would all join me that long, maybe I'll do a long one like that, but I don't know if everybody would stick around that long. You almost had me doing it, Rocky. Yes, I did see the silver price. I actually watched it live as it hit 51. It wasn't there very long. It was at 51. It dipped back down to like 50, 85, maybe 50, 80, and then went back up just over 51 and then came crashing down. I imagine the price came back down because of the news in the Middle East. That's all I'm going to say about that. But yeah, it's like I said, I've been antiquing for a long time, so I wish I had all this. Well, I don't, so I collected silver for a while, and it basically paid for our house. So I have a lovely house for myself and my wife and our kids. And of course, the cat who rules us all. And the squirrels who rule the outside. But yeah, I've been watching the silver market since I mentioned my dad. But yeah, I used to go antiquing with him in England, and we would go to what they call car boot sales. And they would literally be a different little village in the south of England each weekend, or every other weekend. And he did not come, he came from very, 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 very little money, to the point that they were working when they were 14 and 15, him and his brother and sister. And he did well for himself, but the only thing that he would buy that would show off any of the value and monies that he'd made during his career were tie pins. So he collected antique tie pins, and that's where I started to learn about gold and silver. And I think the first piece that I ever bought was at a market, and it was a teapot, but it was what I thought was a silver teapot. I think it cost me like £5, and it was actually silver plate, but it was a beautiful little teapot from a set. And that was my introduction, and I was probably, I don't know, probably 10 or 11 when I bought that. So yeah, I've been watching for a long time. Yeah, KG, it broke 50. So I imagine, so I think the futures on it was December, was still over 50, 49.50, and I imagine we'll be over that when we get there too. So I know it's hurting a lot of jewelers, especially small businesses, because the price has gone up double, if not triple. All right, what do we think? Should I give it a Zan? Do we see any scratches? I don't see my light. I see my light really well. It's a really nice piece. Let's see if we can do this. How's that? So that's the 3000. Got my little face in it. My face head-butted a piece of quartz up here. And it's pretty. And the back is, see that shimmer up there? And the shimmer is also right up there. Lovely. So I think we're going to finish with that. That's a great place to stop. I'm going to hold on to this one for a little while and decide what kind of shape I want, because it's not going to be a heart, I don't think. I think I might come in where this bug is right here and slice it into something like that. And this was the other little piece we did. This was the other little piece we did. So that's after all the cuts that we did. Really happy with this material. And actually I did want to show you one other material. Let's see if I've got it here. No, there it is. No. Yep. Alright, so we didn't cut this today. You want me to zam it? I'll zam it. I want to show this real quick. So this is the blue moon. And if any of you watch Dave, this was from Tim. And it's got some gorgeous blue in it. I'm just not sure the best way to slice this up. I really don't. Because it's got so many crevices to it. So at some stage, because I could, you see how that ribbon's right there? I could cut right across here. And that one too, and take that seam. And see if I can get some really nice blues over the whole stone. Or I could cut it this way and get some really beautiful ribbons going across the face of the stone. That's maybe next week. I gotta think about that one for a little bit. Alright. I had a special request to go zam it up. Let me turn that off. If you don't mind waiting like a minute, not even a minute. It'll just take me 45 seconds. We're gonna zam that up. So, like the polish. You'll hear me in the background here. And the top. Hopefully I don't lose it in the dark, because I'm doing this blind actually. Okay. Really appreciate you all coming in. Thank you so much. And if you don't mind hitting that like while I do this, that would be great. And maybe hit subscribe, and then come back and see me. I might be on over the weekend, or I might be on just next week. But you hit that subscription and then hit that bell, they will notify you when I go live. And I'm really enjoying these lives. That's it. It's a long 45 seconds. Let's see what we got. Woo-hoo-hoo. Okay, good idea, KG. Look at that. Look at the light now. Bye, my Captiva. Thank you so much for being in here. Look at that. It's so well polished. You can see the inside of my lamp. That is neat. All right. Thank you all so much. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Come back, see me again. I'd really appreciate it. Love you for being here today. And we've got so much more to show you. And we might even go out into the antique world at some point. So thank you so much. Hit that thumbs up on the way out. And take care of each other. Most of all, take care of yourself. And you all have a great weekend when you get to it. All right. Cheers now. Thank you so much. Bye, Rocky. Thank you. KG, thank you. All right. Cheers now. Love you. Bye.